Good day, Chino Valley educators. You know, there are 3 ways to join your students to your Google Classroom. The first one, the one you probably heard most about, is by providing each of your students with the class code. That class code can be found on your stream page in your teacher view, and you may have reset it as you saw in the setup process. To make that a little bit larger so you can read it better, there we go. Just tap on this little square right here. Make it even larger, you can tap on this one. But once you have that class code, you may share it with your students by either sending it to them in their Aries communications or email. Please do not post join codes on your school wires. If you have other ways of sharing, such as Remind or even just verbally, you may do that. Students then go into their own Google Classroom via ClassLink, making sure that they are in their district account by hovering over the circle in the upper right-hand corner and making sure that their district email shows up. Then they can tap on this plus sign right here in the upper right, and they'll get the comment that says Join Class, and they will be asked for that code. Just that straightforward. A second way to join your students to your new Google Classroom is to go into your People page and tap on Mr. Head and Shoulders here. When you do that, you'll get a pop-up that will ask you to enter each student's email. The full email is required. You can enter as many as you wish, and once you tap on Invite, a couple of things will happen. First, your students will get an email, and that email arrives in their Outlook email, since Outlook is the only email we use in Chino Valley Unified. And they can just tap on Join, and they'll be dropped right into their Google Classroom page where they can accept the invitation. The other thing, if they don't have email, or if they're not inclined to check their email, is they will see this box or a box similar to it in their Google Classroom app, and they'll simply need to tap on the word Join, and they're dropped right into your classroom. The third but easiest way to join all your students to your new Google Classroom is to use Aries. If you are using the Aries gradebook, your students are all rostered to you, and you can see on the very first Aries homepage, once you've logged in, that each of your sections, if you're a high school teacher, or just your roster, will appear like this if you're an elementary teacher, which is one row, and you can tap on this where it says Add Website. When you do that, one of two things should happen. You should receive a pop-up that looks like this and ask you to either create or link your roster to a Google Classroom. If you tap on Create, that means you have not even created a Google Classroom to begin with. And if you tap Create, it will the system will create a Google Classroom and join all your students. But if you have started your Google Classroom, you've named it, and you've done a couple of adjustments, you may simply click on Link, and it will link all the students in your roster to a choice of Google Classrooms. If you've only created one, then you'll have just the choice of one. But if you are a high school teacher and have already created several classrooms, it'll ask you to choose which classroom this roster is going to be attached. Then tap OK, and you're completely done. All the students should drop in there.